Hi Taurus, welcome to your 26th to the 2nd of March 2024. So this is going to be general guidance messages for the week ahead. If you want to join the membership, it is in the description. We're going to be doing lots of content on the membership from next week. I've got some plans, like the video, comment. If you want to book a reading, I've got tarot coaching, career reads, love reads, everything you need. So if you need clarity, book in a session, comment section, description below. Okay, let's take a look and see what's coming up for Tauruses this week. What is the energies for Taurus this week? Queen of Swords. So this Queen of Swords came up for everybody. But see the way the mask is on the floor? So the Queen of Swords this is about living out through the truth, speaking the truth, and dropping the mask. Dropping the front. It could also be that for the Taurus man or the Taurus woman, your arse gets handed to you this week, like someone just really lays it thick for you. They would really lay it clean, they tell you exactly what they think. But I think as an energy of the week, this is about basically dropping the mask, living in your authentic self, saying what you mean. And if that means you lose people, so be it. If that means people, so what? Who wants liars around them anyway? No thanks. I mean, a lot of people do because they're weak pieces of shit, but I'm saying, like, smart people are just like, nah, I'm good. You know? So, I'm also getting for the Taurus woman, there could be a water sign, or there could just be a masculine who's moving on to somebody else. Okay? This can be someone who's decided to move on with somebody else. Maybe they were seeing you, maybe they were dating you. This person, if it's a water sign, they might have went back to their ex. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I feel like this person's gone back to their ex. What energy is Taurus carrying this week, please? So trying to revive something. Some of you be careful because this is a beast. So this can be a person who's lacking in courage, vitality, energy. But you need to be aware when we become depleted or fatigued, it's often because we've put our energy into things that are depleting us. Okay? But yes, some of you is definitely, maybe you're kind of thinking back to the old you. And you're like, you know, I used to be a person who was very courageous. I would speak me mind. I would say what I thought. Maybe you do need to revive that. So this is where you've allowed the beast within you to go to sleep. And you're doing it because you're scared of other people's opinions or attacks or whatever. So maybe this week, you're like, no, yeah, the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is a person who wants to get back to having the courage to really stand up for themselves, live in the truth, express themselves. Okay? Some of you, you're dealing with a Leo or you're dealing with an air sign. So you could be dealing, maybe you're trying to revive something with a Leo, maybe you're trying to talk to an air sign. Maybe it's a multiple dynamic between Taurus, Leo and an air sign. Again, this is a person who's fell into the darkness. You've got to be careful because if this is your energy, this can be a person who's treading on thin ice. Okay? Like this is a person who's in a dark place. And then we've got the black cat that's crossing your path. And they always talk about when a black cat crosses your path, it could be a sign of bad luck, it can be a sign of witchcraft. There could also be the feeling that someone's doing some kind of sorcery or witchcraft on you. Because I feel like for some of you, yeah, Three of Swords. I feel like for some of you just don't feel like you. You might feel like quite dark and you just don't feel like you and you kind of feel like work is being done on you. But this is definitely to do with a relationship where there's another person involved. This woman is in grief, the Three of Swords, like this is a person who's in grief. Some of you need to talk to someone about a betrayal or a loss because it's put you into a very, very dark place. This can also be with the water. The emotions are all over the place. And the Ace of Swords is where when we get to talk to someone about our pain, about our grief, then we can heal. I'm going to be honest with you, some of you, it's to do with something that's hurting you. But I think it's about accepting that someone is gone and that you can't revive it and it's over. This can also be, for example, death. So when people lose a mother or a grandparent or they lose someone, it can be difficult for them to carry on living. But that's why it's really important to have somebody who can speak to us and help us to rebalance our perspective around life, loss, and then we can carry on living again. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to speak about the pain that they feel, and so they kind of end up staying stuck and they don't get to work through that grief, so they end up staying stuck. Okay, some years you could be treading thin ice when it comes to money. You could be treading thin ice when it comes to the darkness. The darkness might be pulling you in. For a small select few, there could be work that's being done here. Okay, this can be where you're struggling with illness, like this is where you kind of feel like you've got no energy to do anything. This is where you just don't feel like you. But that just means you need to work on better energetic defences. Someone could have done something to cause you loss in your business, loss in your love life. Okay, this could be someone who's trying to cause ill health. Yeah, Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands reversed, she represents the Black Witch. So Queen of Wands upright, she represents she works with the dark force. So she's an energy queen. So this would be a woman who works on people's energy for the better. So she's like a Reiki healer. The light goes off after a while. She's like a Reiki healer. There we go, we went into the dark. So this can be someone who works in the dark and is rogue, basically. It might be someone who you give access to them to work on your energy, but you have to be careful with that because then they've got access to your energy, right? But yeah, she's coming up reversed, so this Queen of Wands reversed can be somebody who works with, black magic, the rogue when it comes to energy. A lot of Westerners think this shit's bullshit. That's because they just don't live in the real world. They live in their hermetic world, right? It's only when they go through spiritual attacks or they go through real loss that they start seeing that it's serious. But obviously in the Western world, this type of work is highly demonized, but it's really, really mainstream in other cultures and in other places in the world. But yeah, some of yous, and this is for the Taurus man, this can be someone who's trying to cause you heartbreak. This can be someone who's trying to cause illness or bad health. So it's important to be careful who you're sharing things with. And it's also important to have strong energetic defences. So when you're in fear, it's going to give this person more power to move against you. Okay? I feel like someone is just salty. This could be you though. Maybe you've got a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries moon. Someone is really happy, they've got children, they've got a great relationship, and I feel like someone can't handle it. Someone's jealous. I mean, this could be a family member. It's someone who's jealous of someone's successes, but you have to be careful because a message I heard is this is a person who can try to curse a person and their children. So, when we talk about generational lineage, where it's kind of, this can be a person who puts on a curse, a hex or work onto the person and then tries to do it to the children. Okay? So this can also be for Taurus women and men. Being careful who you have in your home, being careful who you have around you, especially if these people just don't feel right. The Queen of Wands around you would not feel right. She's bitchy, she's nasty, she's jealous, she's petty, she's horrible. I think what it is with most people, because they've been highly conditioned to be polite, they're kind of scared to say, hey, get the fuck out. You know? But sometimes for your own protection, that's exactly what you have to do. Just be like, listen, I can't fuck with you. No. Okay? So some of you might need a house cleanse. Some of you need to start being careful what you're sharing with certain people in your life. And I think instinctively, you will know who that is. And some of you, I feel like this is a partner who's still got a connection to a past person who he's got kids with. There's something that's hurting you, so maybe you don't want to lose this person, but this person has still got a connection to an ex. It might be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, water sign. They've still got a connection to an ex. They might still be in love with their ex. But I feel like with the moon card reversed, don't feed the darkness. This is for the divine feminine, the Taurus. Don't feed fear. Don't feed the darkness. Don't fight the darkness with the darkness. This is what a lot of people do. You can only win the devil by being divine. The minute you start fighting the devil with the devil, you become the devil. You've got to stay divine, okay? So don't send things back. Don't start looking into retaliation. This person, like I said, this can be a person who affects your energy in a day-to-day. It could be someone you live with, someone who's around you. It could be someone on a job. You need to protect your happiness, you need to protect your health, you need to protect your interests, basically, okay? I feel like there's people you need to block in your life as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so for you, you've got this. So this is a person who can sense things or feel certain things, and they don't really know what's going on. They can't really pinpoint it. So this is where you're dealing with some whore at the job who's putting dirt on your name behind the scenes, and you can't really pinpoint who it is, but you kind of know something is going on. So there's a sense here where this person is kind of confused, but this can also be a person, the Eight of Swords is where we're in a prison. Our mind has become a prison. So there is also something about fear, paranoia, worry about people who are attacking us, worry over losing a connection, and it's just going to manifest it. Because where focus goes, energy flows. I've done it myself. Okay, the more you think I've got no money, you got no fucking money. The more you think this person's going to leave me, they're going to leave you. Because you're manifesting it. Where focus goes, energy flows. So I think you need to start thinking in what you actually want instead of what you don't want. And what you actually want is happiness, to look good, to feel good. Okay? And I feel like for some of you, you've been deeply hurt. So this is something that's already happened. There's been a lot of pain, okay? But I feel like it's time now for me to Fool. April's going to be a really good month for you, so March might be a bit rocky. You've got the Three of Swords. It might be a bit rocky, but April, if you start really working on yourself, working on your healing, telling motherfuckers to go sit on it and focus. Honestly, stop being polite to people. Don't be rude. But when it comes to devil people, do not even give them an inch. Or they'll take a mile. You know, and that's it, right? The message here is, it's time for you to start blocking, deleting. To fuck no, you won't. I don't care who you are. Okay, no. If you've got a toxic mother who's always trying to pull you down, no, bye. Okay, this is about just want to be happy in the world. Just wanting to be happy, you know? Stop focusing on people who don't want the best for you. If people want to leave, let them leave. Get good with the delete button. You know, there is a lot of dark forces, but people don't understand that if you elevate your frequency, the dark forces can't touch you. That's what they want, and a lot of them walk amongst us now. It's inhumans. I mean, they're right next to you. You'll sense it. You'll see it. But as the game gets tougher, and the dark reveals itself more and more. It's just armouring you with the skills to be able to see what you're dealing with. When you're dealing with a human being, you'll know. When you're dealing with something that the devil represents, you'll know. And that's it. So I do think for the last couple of years, people went into a lot of fear, paranoia, kind of a bit paralysed. But now people are like, oh look, it's the devil again. You know, you see the neighbour, you're like, there's the devil again. Like you just know it's obvious, right? You know what bitches to sit with, you know what bitches to avoid. And it's about not feeding the devil. It's about, now when I say don't fight the devil with the devil, I mean don't start retaliating back, don't start feeding into the games. But if the devil is a threat, you better fucking you better cap it, you better deal with it. Okay? If someone comes up to you in the middle of the street with a fucking knife, you better be able to handle it, right? You get the point, right? Because we were saying this before, there's a lot of unhinged people. I'm walking down the high street, this guy's like trying to pick fights with people in the boots. Then he comes out and is like screaming at people on the street. But this is also a failure of our society. People are being failed, they're not well, they need care, they need support, and they're being left. Right? It's becoming a threat to them, it's becoming a threat to people in general, but instead of being paranoid and shaky, relax. And if a cunt moves, move. And that's it. We're just moving back into the old school human. You can't walk around the world naive, you've got to be like, okay, I'm prepared. And the more that you surround yourself with people you can truly trust, but the only way you can truly trust people is if you're living authentically, and that's what this first card was about. How are you going to expect truth from people when you're wearing a mask? You got to drop your guard, you got to drop your mask if you want other people to be real and authentic. Most people want truth when they're not truth. Most people want loyalty when they're not loyalty. So they're fucking lying to themselves. They want healthy when they're toxic. Okay? So I think for some of you Tauruses, but this is what I'll say, April, it's an amazing month. But I think it's for the Tauruses who are just like, there is a time to think about things, there is a time to observe things, but you can think about things and observe things to insanity. I'm a woman who's coached people all over the world for a decade in military, multi-millionaires, homeless people, traumatized people, people who've killed people, people who will kill people. If you overthink into everything, you will literally make yourself crazy. And that's it. You can't live like that. So there is a time to observe and there's a time to think, fuck it. There probably is a demon in this room somewhere. And if it moves next to me, I'll deal with it. Calm. Okay? But for those who are going through pain or they're going through a dark time, the divine is telling you, you're going to be there for a little bit, but you're also not helping yourself with the way you're thinking. You're not helping yourself with where you're putting your energy, how you're using your power, because you're coming up reversed. The Ace of Pentacles reversed is you're destabilising yourself with your mindset. You're destabilising yourself with where focus goes, energy flows. So this is a good time to start feeding the darkness and start being practical, start reframing things in your life, because it'll help you immensely. It might be time to reframe yourself and how you're handling life and people, and it might be time to look at people you don't want to look at. Life is painful. Some of your biggest betrayers will come from your own family. They'll come from the people you give everything to, and it's not easy to... It's not easy to... So this hasn't done this with the other readings, it's only done it with yours, but there's something between the darkness and the light, fighting the darkness, but that's it. And these ones who are out here going, positive vibes only, hashtag living my best life, you're a fucking liar, you're a fake, and your existence doesn't matter beyond you. And that's it. But then there's also people out here who just endlessly live in negativity in the dark. The goal is the middle. If you're happy, be happy. If you're sad, be sad. Okay, if you're angry, be angry, right? But it's all about being careful how that energy comes out and affects your life and affects other people. Okay? So there is something for you where you do need to work on your fears, you do need to work on your stability. There could also be a child as well. So this can be a person who had a child and the hormones have been affected by having that child. So this can be postpartum depression. It can be a person, it's almost like you just don't feel like yourself. But there's also a lot of ways where people put themselves around people in jobs, in circumstances, and they're not allowed to be themselves. That's not how it's meant to be. You know, you have to put yourself in the right places around the right people. Not everyone's meant for you. Not every job's meant for you. Not every path is meant for you. You have to put yourself around the right things and the right people so you can feel like you can be your authentic self and you're safe to do so. Whereas a lot of people kind of cause themselves torture in this 3D existence. They're constantly putting themselves in places that just don't represent them. They're constantly asking for things from people who just won't ever give them in. They're going after men or women who are not in alignment with the core values. It's never going to work. In essence, a lot of human beings are causing their own pain. And that's it. But if they can blame the world, they don't have to take responsibility. And that's the message here. Don't blame the world. The world is dark, dangerous, dirty, vile. It's also magical, loving, caring, but look at yourself and where you're creating your own instability, especially with your mind. And for those who are going through a really hard time, April is going to, and that's how, if you're going through a really hard time, and I know this for me, you can really just want to give up. Because you're like, fuck, this is just too much, it's too dark. And then next minute you just go into your best season. And you're like, how can I go from that to this? Because life's shocking. So if you're in the dark right now, just know the light is coming. If you're in the light, maybe some dark's coming, but you'll be okay. What is it Morty says in there, Cliff? It's all conflicts. It's all conflicts. You know? And so those people who you give so much of a fuck about, you're going to die one day. Who are they? Why do you care? Okay? And also, when you also realise that you are going to die one day, you start taking your life, your happiness, and your journey here a lot more seriously, in a good way. I'm not going to be out here living in misery. I'm not going to be out here living in pain. I'm not going to be out here with people who don't see me. I want to be seen. I want to be loved. And these people don't see it. Goodbye. So this is a powerful reading for you. So hold on tight if you're being challenged, because April is amazing. If you want to book a reading, it's in the description box below or the comment section. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.